Alright, YouTube, what I have here today is the new, or I guess somewhat new, Magpul RLS rifle sling, like goes on a regular hunting rifle. And if any of y'all have one of these rifle slings and you watch the Magpul official install video, that looked like they were on speed or crack whenever they was putting this thing on. Yeah, I thought about making a video here, kind of showing you step by step on how to install it. Let me take this out of here. I just had that stuck in there just for just to get it out of the way. But anyway, this is how I believe it's meant to be used or installed. Other than, I don't know if they have a preference on which side this goes on. I sort of prefer it to stay in between the two loops. That way, that's not on the outside rubbing your back or whatever it is, whichever way you're carrying it. And I've sort of got I've been playing around with this old synthetic stock Savage that I have here. Not too worried about messing the stock up or whatever. I'm sort of trying a 2-point sling setup on it, sort of like you'd carry an AR or something. So I did install a quick detach cup up there. One of the Groove Techs. That's pretty cool. The things ain't but like $6 or $7, I think, for a pack of 2. So I put that in there. And in the rear, when I took I know I'm getting a little off track here, but if you notice how thin these synthetic stocks are, the walls are so thin that I hate to, that I didn't think there would be enough wall thickness in there to support the cup. So I just drilled 2 holes and run some paracord through there and trying that out, and I'm actually really liking that. It's very soft, it's quiet, it it doesn't and it's comfortable around the neck, probably even more so than the quick detach because there's no metal buckle there. All this is kind of forgiving. So anyway, I'll get to the installing the Magpul sling now. Okay, here we go. This is how Magpul says to start with the sling. Essentially, you just take, whenever you get the sling and you unpackage it, you just take this buckle off. Or, I forget exactly what it is they call that thing. Anyway, take that one off and leave the keeper on. And the only thing you'll have is just your bare sling with the keeper still slid on. And remember earlier I was telling you I like to keep this extra portion here, the flap that's been sewn back onto the screen, or sling, sorry. I like to put that in the middle of that loop just so you don't feel that on your back. That's just personal preference, So I'm just going to show you how to set it up in that fashion. If you don't prefer that, then just all you got to do is start with a sling like that, with that facing down. But I'm going to start with it facing up. So first thing we're going to do here is make sure everything is facing up. These slings are really long, so it's kind of easy to get twisted up. So anyway, got it. I think I got it facing the right way. I'm just gonna do that just to help keep the whole sling on the table for right now. All right, you thread it through your sling swivel or whatever attachment method you prefer to use. In this case, it's a quick detach there. All right, now the next part is getting it back through this keeper. You make sure it's straight again. Magpul says to take a screwdriver and do this. I have found that you don't really have to do that. I take the corner of this sling and I'll start it in there, and if you kind of push in on the extra of the sling and kind of pull this part too, and I'm taking my index finger and my thumb and kind of trying to slide that the keeper forward. Right there, you'll notice it starts going, and lo and behold, you got your extra out. Now that's, if you're not really good with your hands or or whatever, you can try the screwdriver method and trying to feed it in there. But I've found that this works pretty good. Once you get it started in there, it starts biting against itself. There's enough friction to kind of help slide it on through whenever you're pulling this back part. So anyway, all right, so we got the keeper on there. I'm just gonna pull it way on back here. So there's what we've got so far. All right, now right here, this is how this thing stays inside the loop because it's facing up now. You just thread that back through there. I'm gonna have to pull some more slack here. I'll say one thing about this keeper, man, they certainly do the job. They're tight. Okay, I've got enough slack now, I think, to, let's see, to do the job. God, went the wrong way. There we go. Well, just do this. Those things can be a bit of a pain. Okay. Anyway, here we are, back to where we were. All right, I'm gonna put this in through there, and then you just thread this one back down through that side. Now would have probably been the time that I should have tried to get things a little bit more tidied up here. The keeper kind of makes this a little more complicated than it really is. It's funny. You'll kind of feel like you're fighting against yourself, and it's not really that complicated. It's just because the keeper's there that it makes this a lot trickier. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. That's good enough to be out of the way. Okay, now down here, what you want to do is with the Magpul riding facing down on this buckle. So, and as you can see, there's a little step with the step side in there facing downward. You thread up through there, and then back down, and then through whatever sling attachment you're going to use in the rear, whether it be a swivel or whatever. Again, I'm going all experimental with this rig. If anybody wants to try this, make sure you just need 2 holes there drilled through your stock. I think a 5/32 or 11/64. The paracord, the 550 paracord, will for sure go through the 11/64 hole pretty easily. The 5/32, you really have to do a good job heating the end and kind of putting a little needle point on it and trying to get it through there. So just so you know, and also whatever width sling you're going to use, make sure that's the center of your holes. I kind of got this one a little bit small, because I was mainly wanting the string to the paracord to kind of bite around the strap a little bit more than it would if it was the same width. But now I regret it and wished I would have made it a little bit bigger. So I might fill that back in with some sort of black epoxy and re-drill the hole a little farther down. Anyway, here we are. As you can see, we're about done. So now you thread this part up through there. This is what Magpul says to do. That way this excess is not in between you and the sling. And then you thread it back through there, and there you have it. This can be, moved around a little bit, depending on what you want. And also, when you get the sling adjusted to where you want it, if you're able, you can take the excess here, depending on, I guess, how big of a fella or small of a fella you are. Let's see. I'm just fighting against myself. I've kind of caught me laughing at myself doing this, because I swear, y'all, this is not that complicated, but you feel like an idiot and you feel like you can't get anywhere with this sling with that keeper. If the keeper wasn't on there, this would just, straighten itself back out just fine and dandy, but not with that keeper on there. Anyway, so what you can do with your excess here, if you have a lot of it, you can either go back up through this this loop, or this buckle. You can do that, and you can run it back through there if you want. Another way is to just skip this one and just go into this one. If you know, it starts getting a little bit tight because there's, you know, you'd have 3 layers of sling going through that buckle, but that's another way. If you just don't want your excess just kind of out there, you know, flapping around in the wind or whatever, you can do that and just keep it, you know, keep it out of the way. So anyway, there you go. It's not quite as bad as it looks, but it is bad enough. Trust me, it didn't go this smoothly whenever I tried it the first time. So hopefully, I haven't been able to find hardly any videos out here on YouTube explaining how to install the RLS Magpul Sling. So hopefully this will help some of you guys. And anyway, thanks for watching.